Okay, so my name is Ashton. I used to be a committee member with social sec for the Outlaws. My player number is 126, so I'm the 126th Outlaw player. I play for the backs, and yeah, my sexual orientation is gay, and my pronoun is he, him. And today we're going to be talking to Kevin. Introduce yourself.
Not a good start. You don't have to call me Kevin. Just Mr. Stokes will do for you. Thank you. No, so my name's Kev Stokes. Been a member of the Outlaws for about, this is coming into my third season, I think now. Not a committee member, but I am on the coaching team. My sexual orientation is straight, but you never know. Pronouns he, him, I think. I guess. I'm not she, so yeah. It says to add something interesting about myself, but I don't have anything interesting. So back to you, Ash.
Okay, thank you for that. So I'm just going to be asking you some questions about your perception of the LGBT community and the rugby community in general, and how you saw them previously versus to how you see them now.
Cool.
Yeah. So the first question is, what comes to mind when you think of LGBT spaces or groups?
I think originally, maybe not so much anymore, but originally it was probably quite separated from other communities. Maybe whether it was because they kept themselves or that's kind of just how society saw them. But before the Outlaws, I hadn't really, I mean, obviously I knew about them and I had, friends and colleagues and stuff that were homosexual, but didn't really know much about the community. So yeah, perception wise, it was probably a bit, I don't know if ignorance is the right word, probably not the right word, but yeah.
Okay.
Quite secretive maybe, do you know what I mean? It wasn't really something I would take an interest in because it wasn't something I'd be a member of, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So when you think of a traditional rugby club, what sort of pictures come to you? Like, what do you picture?
I think for me, it's just the old guard. It's the old boys sort of sitting in the pubs, smoking cigars and drinking out of tankards and stuff. And, obviously very male dominated. Never really played for a team that had a women's team, let alone, had players that were openly gay. So I suppose it was very straight orientated. Very much, I think from my experience from rugby clubs, very cliquey, so quite family orientated. So you'd have a dad, and then their sons would play, and then their sons would play. So it was quite a lot of family, and it was quite political at times. So it was kind of like who you knew rather than like your abilities or what you knew, sort of thing.
Okay, it's interesting. So what did you think a gay rugby club would be like?
To be honest, I didn't, because Scott was the one who got me down to the Outlaws. I don't think I really had an opinion. I think my first thought was just, it's a rugby club. Like the gay thing didn't really sort of come into it too much. I don't know if that was just me being naive. I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I wasn't expecting, I guess because I knew it was a local team, but because I hadn't heard of them, I guess I wasn't expecting the skill level or the experience to quite be there. Because I mean, I've been playing in Northamptonshire teams for many years now, and I know most of the clubs, and I've played against most of the clubs, but I've never played against the Outlaws. I've never heard of the Outlaws. So I guess, yeah, it wasn't, the gay thing never really came into it. It was just more I think the skill level I wasn't quite expecting, or like the experience.
Do you think maybe because having a like a straight male friend that was part of the team, do you think that maybe influenced in why you didn't really have sort of like a view on a gay rugby club?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it would have been, if I'm completely honest, I don't think it would have been a team I would have joined just off my own back. Like, it was definitely word of mouth. Obviously Scott, and then Scott was there with Dave, and then I had Frosty as well, who I used to play with at B. see, I don't think I would have like searched for the team because I was quite happy. I later realised I wasn't. But I was at BB, I wasn't going to go anywhere. And when Scott's about coming down, I thought, well, Scott's a straight man. He's playing for an inclusive team or a gay team. Why can't I, sort of thing? So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. And that leads on to my next question about any previous playing experience you have. I know you've just answered quite well some of that, but in detail, like how far did you get with other teams, and like what positions you might have played in other teams?
Yeah, so I started, I say quite late. I think I started when I was about 17, 18. So I wasn't there for like the kids or the youth growing up. I went straight into, I think it was under 17s, might have been my first age group. So I would have been about 16, 17. And then when I went to uni, I played for the uni team as well as B. Started off as a fullback, which is number 15, which was, you know, the long blonde hair and the speed. And then I went to uni, just stop laughing. I know you're on mute. And then I discovered alcohol and, you know, bacon sandwiches. And then I got slower, and then I got bigger. I was going to say muscly, but it wasn't that. So then I moved into the forwards, basically, because that's where you sort of go to retire, I guess, when you get a bit too slow and heavy. As far as like progression, I guess, when you're in a certain age group, you just play in that age group. There isn't like multiple teams. And then when I got to BB, sort of the adults, I was fairly regular in the second team. If I didn't play for the seconds, I played for the thirds. I didn't play for the first team because that was a case of having to train every single week. You know, and partly there was a higher skill ceiling there that because I wasn't going to the gym, I was drinking my beer and I didn't take it serious enough to get that far. And again, uni, I think only had the one team when I was there, maybe two. But again, that was more for the social than the actual rugby stuff. So I didn't get massively far. It's not like I had trials for anywhere in particular. So yeah, just more your sort of local team level.
Okay. How did you feel before your first training session with the Outlaws?
Nervous, definitely nervous. My first, I think I've spoken about this in the past, but I actually played a game before I went to training. I can't remember how it happened. It's when I first met Peterson. I'd got in touch with Chappers, or Scott had got me in touch with Chappers, and we played against Leicester. We went to De Montfort. That's another story. But yeah, so I kind of met some of the players, but obviously I knew there was a lot I hadn't met at training. I guess I was nervous because I don't know. I wanted to be good. I think it probably sounds a bit stupid, but I didn't want to be rubbish and just sort of kind of be laughed at. I thought I want to try and prove myself that I've got a bit of worth here. You know, because there's always a bit of competitiveness amongst players, especially similar positions and things. Plus, if I'm honest, because of like the anxieties and stuff, it's meeting new people. I'm not great with people anyway because I don't really like them. So when you've got to meet 15 or 20 new ones, it can be quite daunting. And I suppose the I don't know, the stereotypes, but like the perceptions you can have of like, you know, homosexuals and stuff, whether I believe it or not. But when you see it on TV, it can be quite flamboyant and stuff like that. There's always that stereotypical homosexual. And I was like, if it's a team like that, I'm going to stand up like a sore thumb and just feel really awkward and stuff, I suppose. So, yeah, so there was a lot of nerves because of that.
Okay. And how did you feel after your first training session?
Just, yeah, incredible. I was more annoyed with myself that I kind of had those thoughts. I was like, they're just a bunch of guys that just want to play rugby like I do. Like, again, like I've already sort of mentioned, like the whole inclusive and the gay thing, it was never really sort of spoken about. It wasn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's pride there, you know, and, you know, people wear their hearts on their sleeves, but it doesn't come up in every single conversation. It's not like, oh, hello, I'm gay, by the way. And it's just a normal bunch of guys that just happen to be homosexual or you know, or bi or whatever. I'm still learning all the lingo, by the way. But yeah, you just wanted to play rugby. And that's all I wanted to do. They wanted to play rugby and I wanted to have the drink in the bar afterwards. So it's just like any other club, really, apart from they were having more fun. So yeah, it was a massive relief, I think, for me especially.
That's good. So what advice would you give to a new member who was thinking of joining up?
Just give it a go. Well, what have you got to lose? Like, absolutely nothing. Like, I mean, you're either going to not like the sport, fine. If you've played before, then you've obviously got nothing to worry about. And just a great group of guys. Do you know what I mean? It's not really too cliquey. Like, everyone's got each other's back. Everyone, you can talk to everybody. It's great. I mean, yeah, just go for it. I don't know why. I mean, I get the anxiety and stuff behind it, but it's so friendly. There's none of this toxicity that you can find in some clubhouses, and you've got to be careful with the terms of, like, it's banter, but sometimes it can be quite toxic. And I think at the Outlaws, it's not. Like, I think genuinely people just having a laugh, and it's whether that's because of past experiences or not, I don't know. I've not asked that sort of question, but people are quite open, but they're quite understanding as well. I think because mental health is obviously quite a big thing that we do talk about quite a lot in the club, and obviously we do some charity work as well. I know Law's a big campaigner for it. I think because of that, it's just a lot more relaxing, and you feel like you can say things without people ridiculing you or mocking you. So yeah, I mean, just yeah, don't be scared. Just go for it. Just dive in.
Sweet. And if you could describe the Outlaws in one word, what would it be?
One word.
Or I might let you have three. If they're good.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have to be really cheesy or really offensive. No, I'm joking. I don't know. Is it? Can I just say family? Like, it just feels like. Do you know what I mean? I've only been there, like I said, I think I'm in my second or third season now, but it just feels like I've known these guys for years and years and years. Like there's always someone you can turn to and have a conversation with. So yeah, I guess it is a bit cheesy, but yeah, I'd say family. Like, it feels like I found a new family sort of thing. I feel welcomed with open arms.
Okay, thanks, Kev. It was fun interviewing you. Have fun passing it on.
Thanks, Ash.
Thank you for watching the interview with an outlaw. If you like what you saw, please click like. And if this is the first time you're here, why not hit subscribe for more from our channel? We release 5 every Friday, so let's see who will pass it on next.